We are live. What is going on, YouTube? Long time no see. We got Supergirl Season 6, Episode 1 that just came on tonight. So we're going to break it all down. This is going to be a reaction review, biggest takeaways, all rolled into one video. So be sure to hit the subscribe button and click the bell so that you don't miss. And let's just dive right into it. So we had some major developments coming in. First of all, everybody looks great in their new suits. And can you say budget? The budget for this show looks like they spent a lot of money on visual effects. We got Johns and Megan. We got Supergirl, obviously, Kara and all that stuff. Lena returned. This was the full cast here in this episode. So it basically follows Lex, who is trying to connect all the world's minds and control them, basically making everything that Lex does seem like it's a great thing. And obviously, this is one of Lex Luthor's longest issues, is that some people just don't like him. That's why it was such a shock when people like President Luthor ended up coming into the scene in some variations of the comics and TV shows. So he's done it effectively. He's got satellites linked all around the world, and they end up needing the Martian Manhunter and Magan's help in order to break that link that is being had all over the world. So we have Lena returning, and we can't trust her. Obviously, she hates Supergirl. After what she went through in the last couple seasons with Supergirl, I just don't know if there's any way that we can ever fully trust her. She's working with Supergirl right now. Not really, because she kind of mind controlled some of the characters in the last episode, in tonight's episode. So we have Lena and Lex working together. We have Kara. Now, the biggest thing is she's in the Phantom Zone, but we'll get to that in a second because that's one of the biggest things that happened in the episode. So Dreamer is there. We've got, what do they call her now? Sentinel. So now that the old Sentinel is gone, oh, that was Guardian. So now Supergirl's sister is now known as Sentinel as her superhero name. So this season came back with a bang. Definitely a lot of action. Much better than, I would say, even the Flash. And traditionally, I like the Flash a lot more than Supergirl when it just came to storytelling, etc. But no, for this episode, I actually enjoyed Supergirl. It was good. It had good action, a good villain, Lex Luthor, even though he's overused. And this sees him using a basically kryptonite cannon in order to kill Supergirl. She's effectively down for the count. I mean, Kryptonians are rarely ever truly down for the count. You've seen this happen to Superman so many times, and it happened to Kara in this episode, where she just gets blasted with all this kryptonite radiation, and you don't know if she's going to live, but we know she's going to live. And they send a robot that douses her with some solar radiation, and she's back. So I don't know if anybody thought they were going to kill her off in the first episode, but that would be amazing. Not in a good way, but just it would tell you that they're bold. I mean, to kill off Supergirl in her last season in the first episode would be crazy. But she's in the Phantom Zone now, so everybody knows about the Phantom Zone. It's a big, sometimes overused plot device of Superman's stories and Supergirl's stories. But yeah, so essentially Lex sent her to the Phantom Zone, and the next episode deals with her trying to break out of it. By the way, everybody looks so great in their new suits. The suits are great. The budget obviously was high. And Lex Luthor, we got a great scene with him duking it out with all the heroes in this episode. You had both John Jones and Megan. You had Sentinel. You had Supergirl just all bombarding him. He must have crazy powers at that point because he was taking it from all of them at once. But then obviously Lex lost his powers and became, a little wuss again and wasn't able to really do anything, even though his mental ability did get him there. So looking forward to these next episodes. Obviously, we have an issue with Lena. Supergirl trusts her, and she can't be trusted. She's already working in the background to betray her. She's infiltrating all of her friends and hypnotizing them, mind controlling them, whatever she's doing in order to turn them all against Supergirl. So we're going to have to see how that ends up turning out. Will we see Superman from Superman and Lois make a debut in Supergirl? We do know that they were kind of in he debuted in Supergirl, so it would be kind of interesting to see him show up. We know Superman and Lois is not coming back until May 18th right now at this point. So, but who knows? Maybe he shot a little footage with Kara. I think that would be a really interesting reunion because he's a very different Superman than he was in the beginning when he was first introduced in Supergirl. So we'll have to wait to see if any of the characters from there head on over to the Supergirl show. But she's in the Fortress of Solitude getting her gear in order to take down Lex Luthor's hold on the entire world. And we got a really cool scene with the Martians. By the way, their suits look really good. And I think that overall they were using their powers in a comic accurate way. Oftentimes, Martian Manhunter is such a Swiss Army knife of superpowers that he's not often used in what I would say a realistic way. But yeah, obviously with him having strength to kind of equal Superman, characters like that, they could just use him as another Superman. But they nicely balanced it out where Supergirl is playing the Superman of the show, and John and Megan were using their mental abilities to kind of break the mental link that was making everyone just love Lex Luthor. But it had turned in a way that was, it's funny. There's a theme with mind things, and I'm sorry because I'm digressing, but there's a theme with mind control because Psych was in the last episode of The Flash. Me and Sydney covered that one, so a link to that will be down in the description below. But isn't it funny how in The Flash they had Psych, who was controlling people's minds, and in this episode of Supergirl we had Lex Luthor, who was controlling people's mind. That's probably just a coincidence at this point, but no, I'm really psyched for the potential of seeing Tyler Hoechlin's Superman possibly show up at the end of this season. There was a lot of lingo and language and jargon regarding goodbyes. So you had a couple moments with Supergirl and her sister, aka Sentinel now, where she was saying her goodbyes as she went into, as she teleported. And knowing that this is the last season and having that as a context, it's just like, are they saying their goodbyes in a lot of ways? I think that they are. I think it's just kind of, and it's not even that Supergirl won't show up in other shows, but you can definitely tell the tone is one of kind of the last time that we'll probably see all of these characters together. But let me know in the comments down below, as I'm always checking out the chat with you guys as I'm live now. Who do you think would die in this season? Oh, I'm seeing it. Hello. I wasn't seeing the chat for the longest time. Hello to Alexandra. Welcome. You're not a Supergirl fan, but that's okay. We're always here on the live chat. You can always pop in and say what's up. Hope you're doing well. Sophie says hi. Hello, Sophie. What did you guys think of tonight's episode? I definitely want to know what you guys thought of the episode. I thought it was fantastic. Just the action alone, the amount of money that they spent on the graphics. I think it was on par with Superman and Lois. That obviously came out swinging as far as the effects. I think they probably spent a little bit more money on Superman and Lois only because the graphics looked a little bit more polished, just a tad. But both of these shows, obviously, because of the characters that they deal with, not only having Superman, but John Jones as well, it's something that you got to spend a lot of money to make it look good. So is Supergirl worth watching? It was early on. It had a little bit of a dip. This is the sixth and final season right now. So I would recommend checking it out just to see what they do. I mean, it's obviously a lot more edgy. They're taking a lot more risks right now with the show because they have less to lose. They could possibly kill off different characters. It could be really unpredictable. So right now, with this being the season premiere, I would recommend checking it out. We definitely had a shocker moment where Kara gets blasted with some kryptonite and technically dies. She's basically just KO'd because we know how Kryptonian biology, you just blast it with some solar energy and they're good to go like a battery. But yeah, I would recommend checking it out for right now. And obviously it's tied into the Arrowverse, so other shows. So if you like The Flash or any other of the shows in the Arrowverse, you're going to want to check it out because they may tie some things in. Especially, I think they're going to give her a nice goodbye because Melissa Benoist has been a fantastic actress as Supergirl, and I think that you're probably going to get Grant Gustin, and who knows, maybe even Stephen Amell popping in for a season finale goodbye type thing because this is one of the shows that kind of ended, I wouldn't say before its time, but I don't think anyone expected it to go only 6 seasons right when they got around to season 4. But some of the storytelling kind of fell off, and I think it dropped the viewership in a way that the studio didn't like, and so it ended up being in its last season now. But I think overall it was still a really good show, a really decent show. And of course, we'll still see Supergirl, aka Melissa Benoist, show up in other Arrowvoice, Arrowverse shows in the future. Batwoman is also facing a similar thing. It's basically canceled, but they're gonna have the actress showing up. I haven't watched Batwoman myself. I watched the first season with Kane, but the storytelling, again, it really struggles sometimes with these female characters. They have difficulty writing compelling stories that are really intriguing. So I guess the viewership for Batwoman didn't, it died off and it ended up not being renewed, even with the switch of the actresses. And Supergirl, much better than Batwoman, I would say, now in its sixth season, now getting canceled at this point. But it's definitely going to live on as far as Melissa Benoist in the CW Arrowverse. And who knows, with the multiverse, I mean, we've seen Ezra Miller's Flash in this DCEU. So who knows what they could do with her character. I know they did just cast the new Supergirl, the first Latina Supergirl as well. I think her name is Sasha Cal. Great actress. I've seen her before, but never really paid that much attention to her until now that she's donning the cape. So we'll see how she does in the DCEU / JJ Abrams verse. Nobody's really sure who she's going to end up playing the role for, whether that would be Zack Snyder, obviously, as people are still fighting for the Snyderverse to be restored, or the J.J. Abrams verse, as Warner Brothers has made it very clear that they are really, really, really trying to move on at this point. So let me know which universe you'd like to see her play in, because I think she could be a great Supergirl as well. But Melissa Benoist, in a lot of ways, she's kind of turned into the new OG. I think she's done a lot more even than the first Supergirl in the old OG classic TV show. And she's just such a sweet person. Like, you can tell on and off of the camera, she brings that heart and that truth of character to the role. And that's something that is so essential to playing Superman, Supergirl characters, and even Wonder Woman. Like, you got to have that heart. And I think that's something that she has in spades. And so we'll see about the new Supergirl. But as far as what the story is going to go for this season, this final season, I think it's going to end up kind of right where it started. It's going to end up with good old Melissa Benoist, aka Kara, and Lena Luthor, Lex, just facing off for one final time. And honestly, bold prediction for the end, I think Lena's going to die. Supergirl's obviously not going to die, but I think Lena Luthor is going to die. We already know that she's working some sinister plans in the background from this episode. And so I think that's something that they're not going to reveal too soon, but it's kind of going to work its arc throughout the season, and then it's going to all come to a head at the end. Look out for even possibly Martian Manhunter to bite the dust. He's a fan favorite, and we've never truly gotten him the way that fans have wanted him. Even seeing him in the Snydercut was pretty cool, but fans who had watched the TV show Justice League Unlimited and Justice League, the animated series, John Jones was just a beast of a character. So a lot of people are waiting to see him in some significant way, but he could possibly also bite the dust by the end of this season here. But who knows? We got a multiverse, so we never truly lose anybody if they want to bring them back. But yeah, guys, so I wanted to keep this one a little long because it is the first episode, the season premiere of Supergirl, the final season, episode 1. They came out swinging. The graphics were there. The story was pretty much there. They set up a lot of different things. The suits and the costumes all look great. And so I'm excited for this. Definitely more impressed than I was with the first episode of The Flash, even though that was kind of ending the previous season. And now they're beginning what was supposed to be the new season because of the pandemic. So let me know what you thought, obviously, because this is just one man's opinion. Down in the comments below. Be happy to chat it up with you guys all week. And also, we did The Flash, obviously, which just came on an hour before Supergirl. So check that out. Sydney and I did that. We were goofing off probably a little too much in that episode, but we had a good time. So check that out. And also, Godzilla versus King Kong comes on at 3 a.m. this morning. And I'm going to be there. I'm going to be watching it. And probably right around when the movie ends, around 5 o'clock in the morning, I will be there with my live stream, just reacting to it. In the meantime, if you want to get your Godzilla fix, I did a video called Why Godzilla, King of the Monsters, was better than Avengers Endgame. So that may seem like a bold statement to you, but I think I explained it pretty well. So once I get off the live stream, I'll drop the links to all that in the description below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Keep it locked here, subscribe, click the bell, and I will see you in the next one. Peace.